Hello everybody. Today we are going to have a fun build here. This whole week is going to be Guardians in positions where you wouldn't expect them to be. We're going to be doing Cabraken middle today. We're going to be talking about builds for him. Later in this week we'll also be talking about Athena in the solo lane and Geb in the middle lane for a fun week to get away from doing typical support stuff, and we're going into carry supports and different roles. So let's get into this build for Cabraken. As a mid or solo lane Cabraken, your starting items you're looking at typically Vamp Shroud with a Hog and then some potions or something or another. Another option that I've been working with, which I'm liking a lot, is you can start tier 2 Witchblade if you're against a physical solo laner / physical jungler. If there's a double physical combination, the tier 2 Witchblade start works amazing. If you're playing middle lane on Cabraken, you might want to think about grabbing a tier 2 Stone of Gaia start. The regen is really nice against most characters. You can pretty much sustain yourself in that mid lane by yourself. Play with the builds as you see fit. I'm still kind of playing with them. I've done all 3 starts and all 3 have worked for me, so I'm trying to figure out what I like the most, but they're all situational. Looking at your core items, Mystical Mail, great item on Cabraken. You do so much damage. You're pretty fast, so you can stay up by people. That 40 damage a second, especially throughout the early to mid game, is going to be a ton of damage. Void Stone, because while we are going damage on these characters, their damage comes from their base skill damage, which is really high, and because you're going to have more levels than your opponents in the other lanes, you're going to be able to get off a ton of damage. So by building this tanky damage hybrid, they're not going to be able to kill you while you're doing a ton of damage, and it's amazing. Looking at your straight damage items, you're looking at Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver procs on your 1, doing a ton of damage. Polynomicon also procs on your 1, so if you use your 1 on Cabraken and smack somebody towards the end of the game with Soul Reaver Polynomicon, I swear to you, you're going to like one-shot their ADC. It's happened. You can one-shot people with the skill. It's amazing. It's hilarious. It's troll. It's awesome. Looking at your defensive items, depending on what you're going to get, Warlock Sash is a good item for Cabraken, pretty good at stacking. Then, of course, other situational items, depending on if you really need a defense skill, item towards the end of the game. As far as actives go, a lot of the times I still get Hog on these Guardians that I'm playing. Sometimes it's because maybe I want to be able to secure objectives myself, or I want to be able to steal objectives myself. Other times, such as Cabraken, I like to get it for the lane clear early on. Completely optional. You can not get Hog. You might lose a little bit of the lane early, but you can come back later. Not a big deal. The active's very open-ended. You can get Shell to help out your team. You can get Weakening Kirks. You can get yourself beads. I like to get beads all the times on Geb and Athena. But whatever you want. And then, of course, our consumables to help us out there. As far as the build order goes on Cabraken mid lane, what I like to do is I like to get my Refraction Shield first. Then I like to get a point in Seismic Crush. This is because typically you can hog the wave at level 1, hit level 2, put a lot of pressure on their mid laner, get them down to about half health at the start, help you get some pressure on the wave. Level 3, I'll either get Tremors or a point in Refraction Shield. Tremors is great at clearing the wave. Fantastic at clearing the wave. The only problem is it's very easily interrupted, so you have to try to use it after they use their CC. So level 3 or 4, you get one of these 2 skills. Level 5, of course, you get your ult. You level up your Refraction Shield first, then you level up Seismic Crush, your ultimate in between those and Tremors leveling up last. So, as far as your matchups here for Cabraken, your good matchups are going to be low CC characters that don't have jumps. You're looking at Agni's a great matchup for Cabraken. You can use your wall. He can't dash through it. He can't get away. He only has one way to CC you. You're thinking about Chang'e. Chang'e can't jump over your wall. She only has her ultimate to CC you. Those kind of characters are great for Cabraken. Really bad matchups for Cabraken. Isis is the absolute worst. She has multiple ways to interrupt your Tremors. She has really good lane clear, very difficult to lane against. Nox, also very difficult to lane against, amazing lane clear, great poke. She also has that silence, which she can't miss when you're doing your Tremors. So those are the hard matchups. So let's go ahead and get ourselves into this game. We have entered our game. We're going to go ahead and be starting here at this mid-harpy. We level up our 2 first. This gives us good protections when we are hit at the start of the game, as well as it is pretty much the best damage skill for Cabraken. Not necessarily the best lane clear, that's your 3, but it's a good way to start considering we have our hog up. I need to kill 1 melee creep before I can hog these archers and hit level 2, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get that 1 guy. Now I can hog the archers, hit level 2, and I can put a lot of early harass onto this Janus. This is going to be important because I'm not going to be able to keep this lane pushed without my hog up, but eventually I'll be able to get my 3 and clear the wave a bit better. Janus, of course, can interrupt my 3 with his portal though, so he should theoretically still win the lane clear. As far as this wave goes, I'm just trying to get as much harass back here on these archers as I can. The archers do a lot of damage to your minions. They also do a lot of damage to you. So I'm just trying to be careful here. I don't want to take too much damage from this Janus, but at the same time I also want to try to get as much gold as I can out of this wave. This is a relatively hard lane matchup for Cabraken. Putting a point in my 3 at level 3 should hopefully give me quite a bit of lane clear as long as this Janus does not interrupt me. Our Ares picking up a good first blood, good for him. The Janus does not see me that quickly doing my 3, so I can pretty much clear the whole wave before he does at this point. Grabbing another point in my 2, that is the skill you're going to want to rank up first. Ranking up your 3 does a little bit more damage, but you're going to get more benefit out of ranking up your 2 for the player damage, even the damage on the archers that you can do it in the backlines. Going back to get my red buff, making sure I'm staying on top of this XP. We can also go back and grab ourselves some back harpies right here. I won't miss out on any middle XP from this. This is just the best way to maximize your XP. I missed a single minion from that wave. That means nothing. Much better that I went around and got all of that XP from those back red buff. No eyes on the Janus right now. Presumably he's off doing his red buff as well, which means I can freely come up here and just kind of pound on the wave until it's gone. I do have the starter item, so I will get mana back from getting those killing blows on them, and I pretty much regen all of my mana that I had used. Arachne putting some pressure on me, but I can kind of fight back. She's only level 4. I'm not that scared of her. I'm kind of baiting this. Hopefully my nemesis will show up. So I'm just kind of trying to fight this as much as I can, but I don't want to go in too ham. The Janus portal's away, which means I am free to come back towards this. I'm going to go looking towards that Janus. He does have his portal down, so I can hog those back harpies, back archers. I hit level 6, grab my point in my 2, and now I can start grounding and pounding these guys. This Arachne is in trouble. She's by herself. She gets chained, which means she cannot go through the portal. She tries her hardest to get through the portal, but you can't go through portals when you're crippled. Very good play from the Ares right there. Janus, too slippery. He gets away. No big deal. Picking up an early kill for me would be very beneficial. I'm also going to hit a relatively early level 7 right here. Athena trying to put some pressure on me. This is me not caring. No big deal. I need to back pretty soon anyway. My 2 at this point is doing almost like 300 damage, which is kind of silly considering it's only 300 minutes in the game. That's like the majority of this Janus's hit points. Then I can combine that with my other skills and pretty much kill him in one rotation of skills. I really need to back, but at the same time I also want my pen boots pretty badly, so I'm trying to wait as much as I can for them. I see Ares coming in the back, putting a lot of pressure onto them, but I won't be able to help him in any way. I'm out of mana anyway. The Janus goes through his portal, he gets out. Arachne putting a lot of pressure onto him, but they can't kill him. Good harass by the Ares. Didn't get killed, didn't get a kill, but good harass on them, keeping the pressure on. About a 1k ahead of them at this point, which is pretty good. Nemesis getting some needed middle XP as a jungler. It's your job to pretty much maximize your XP by getting mid farm. I know I'm going to back, so I can go ahead and use my hog to clear those frontline minions, and then I can use my 2 on the back line, as I know that will kill the archers, making sure I get all of the gold from that wave, so I can back and get my boots as quickly as possible. Ranking up my 1, of course, after my 2. The 1 does a lot of burst damage, also increases your movement speed, which is going to help me catch up to people. Oh, God, I love Cabraken. This is such a fun character to play. Jan is putting some harass on my tower. No big deal. Once I get 1 more level, I'll be able to fully clear those back harpies with just my 2, which will be pretty helpful. Janus looks like he's rotating towards the left lane, just trying to let my team know. He comes back towards the middle lane, but Janus can pretty much rotate anywhere freely. That's kind of his thing. I see Ares coming towards mid. He smacks the Janus with a very good chain, and we're going to go ahead and pick up a relatively free kill right there onto that Janus. Cannot go through his portals with a chain on him. Trying to help this Ares as much as I can. I know the Arachne is going to go back in for him, so I'm trying to stay by him. Now the Arachne is getting Athena ult, so I'm trying to be careful. And Apollo ult comes in as well. I can clean up the kill onto the Arachne, though. All of their ults used on that poor Ares. Not a bad exchange, though. Support dead for their mid laner and their jungler, which is a win for us. Cabraken, very potent around this point in the game if he can get ahead. The burst damage of his skills is silly. Just silly. You can even see as I come and do this red camp how fast I can do it. Just because of the straight ability damage. Now that I'm level 10, I can go ahead and get my second point in my ult. I like to get the 5th point in my 2 before I get the second point in my ult. You get more protections from it. The skill comes up faster. You get a lot of damage from it. In my opinion, it's just a safer option unless you know you're about to use your ultimate at level 9 and the extra 100 damage is going to kill somebody. At this point, I am against a magical character, which means I'm going to go ahead and go Void Stone. That's going to give me not only magical defense for against this Janus, not only will I get more magical power, but I also get Aura Penetration, which is going to help me do even more. 30 penetration by the point in the game that I'm going to get that item is essentially bringing these damaged characters down to 0 magical protections. I mean, realistically, they don't have any magical protections. They're not building any. Really good change by Ares. It's going to allow me to pick up a very easy kill onto that Athena. I stay here bashing the ground for a really, really long time as I'm trying to kill the Janus. This Arachne is trying very hard to kill me, but that's alright. I'm going around, and now the Apollo is coming for me, and I've got the dodges on. I've got the dodges. He comes towards me. I smack him in the face, which stuns him. I wall him off. And he's still coming. He's still coming. I'm running. I got 10 HP. He misses the auto attack. I'm dodging like Jagger. Rama's doing his best to help me out. And I am going to make it out of there alive. How I did, I am not quite sure. But I put on the dodges like Jagger. And Rama sacrificed his life for me. And I will gladly accept his sacrifice as I will take that life and use it for good. At this point, the Apollo is definitely starting up that Gold Fury. You can see that he's life-stealing off of that, presumably with his Devo gloves. That should be finished by now. Athena might have ulted in on him, so we're looking to contest this Gold Fury. Hopefully get them just to reset it. Nemesis kills the Athena, but they do finish the Gold Fury before we can get there. Good pickup on the Athena. That'll help the Nemesis kind of turn online faster, but unfortunate that we could not get the Gold Fury. Now, could I have left this way for my Rama? Yes. Am I going to? Probably not. I like that XP. It tastes good in my belly. I like the gold. I like the XP. It's all delicious. And I'm Cabraken. I'm a carry. So I'm going to take that. Looking to get some pressure back here in this lane. An ult coming out from the Ares. I try to finish him off, and unfortunately he does a very smart portal through the wall. If my ultimate would have hit him, I might have been able to finish him off, but unfortunately I thought he was going to run away and he portaled through the wall, which was a smart executive decision. Just looking to put some pressure on the Athena. I'm not feeling too scared right now. I know they had to back. Nemesis looking to make a play over at their speed buff, and she does, picking up the Arachne. Very smart positioning from the Nemesis. Athena looking like she wants to ulti over. Just trying to keep some pressure on her middle. If I can get a couple hits on her, that'll do a lot of damage. Bada bing, bada boom, I can get her down to half health. I was already at half health anyway, so whatever. It seems that the Harpies are up. I ain't going to let these go to waste, so I can start to beat on these, and then I can hog them just to finish them off. Got at least a level now on the Janus, so I can try to keep some pressure on. He has a speed buff, which means I have no real way to catch him. I'm trying to dodge the portal. I know he wants the portal, so I'm just trying to like get around it. But I can't catch him. I'll never catch the Janus with a speed buff. That's just not meant to happen. So I can just take this time to chill out for a second. I really should back, but at the same time, I want to make sure I get my red buff, and I want to try to finish up and get enough money for this void stone. Red buff hasn't quite spawned yet, so I'm going to go do back harpy while I wait, try to maximize this as much as I can. Now I can go towards this red buff and start bopping on the floor, because why not? About a 2,000, almost 3,000 gold lead right now. Pretty solid lead. I can go back and finish up my Void Stone, which is going to be very helpful for fighting this Janus and in terms of damage output. Arachne killing Ares. Arachne, a very good tank killer. One of the best in the game next to Kali and Nemesis. Those three pretty much interchangeable in terms of killing tanks. 2 levels ahead of the Janus now. I'm doing a good job at maximizing back harpy XP, mid XP, rotations, getting kills, etc. Athena has to stay in middle because the Janus is having to back quite a bit. If I get one skill rotation onto the Janus, he essentially has to back with how much damage Cabraken is doing, especially with a red buff. Red buff Cabraken is nasty. Trying to do anything to get damage on this Athena, but she is just too squirrely. She comes up and taunts me out of my 3. Whatever, that's alright. I'm still going to hit level 14. I still get my skills. I still get the XP and the gold. No big deal. See, my Loki might be having some trouble over in the right lane. I have no tower left anyway, so I can pretty much do what I want. They don't have a tower there, so I'm free to go around the back looking for a gank. I see that the Loki is going for the Arachne. He ults her. She tries to ult out, but I'm going to smack her in the face with a 1 beforehand. Because of all my penetration, I'm going to be able to finish her off right there. I was kind of hoping the Janus would portal through to the to that back wall there, but he didn't. Luckily, I'm going to be able to walk on in and get an easy kill here on the Athena, stunning her, finishing her off with my 2. At this point now, I am pretty scared. I'm trying to get away. I'm going to try to use my ultimate to block off the Apollo and try to get away, except for I'm actually not going to. That's later in this game. I'm just going to go ahead and walk away for free. Go grab myself some XP over in this left lane. Rama's not there. Nobody's going to be able to get to this XP. So now I'm level 15, still keeping my level advantage over this Janus. Loki having some very good split push over in that right lane to get us up some more gold here early in this game. Gold Fury is spawning soon. We're about 4,000 gold ahead. The tier does pick off the Loki, but the Loki got the tier 2 tower. That's going to end up being worth for us. Janus's map control will start to occur right about now. This is about the time Januses typically start to really use their rotation capabilities to cause some havoc around the map. I saw the Janus go right towards the Harpy, so I'm looking to come and fight him. Sure enough, he was there. I'm body blocking him from the portal by standing in it. I'm going to try to get the kill on him with my ultimate. Unfortunately, he uses his speed just in time, and between it, keep making him faster and it slowing me down. He just barely gets away from it. Trying to make a play onto the Janus here. Probably a bit aggressive, not my smartest decision. Now there is an Arachne here. I could be in trouble. Really badly wanted that kill on that Janus, though. The rage getting the best of me in that situation. Right now, I really thought my team would be rotating over towards me. Unfortunately, there was miscommunication, it seems, and I'm going to get picked off right here. To be fair, it was my fault charging in on the Janus to get that kill. I was a bit frustrated that he had gotten away. I made a really good play by blocking the portal, but he still got the kill. Or he still got away because Janus is balanced. But at the same time, there probably should have been faster rotations. But that's alright. What are you going to do? You can't always rotate. Stuff happens. But, you know, you can be like, yo, we're doing really good. Just, you know, more rotations if we can. You know, you just got to, you know, try to lead your team in the right direction. Meanwhile, Arama is getting some great split push over here in the left lane. Just trying to let my team know a little bit, just a little bit quicker on our rotations. But we're still doing a great job. At this point, working towards my mystical mail, that extra bleed damage is just going to be extra annoyance on top of everything. They don't really want to target me because I'm tanky, but they can't really leave me alone because I'm doing so much burst damage. They're in a weird position right now in terms of where do they prioritize me? Do they kill me first? Do they kill me in the middle? Do they just ignore me completely and they try to go for everybody else, you know? One of the fun things about Cabraken is people don't really know how to deal with you because they don't really expect you to do damage, but you do a lot of damage until they kind of just panic. And Athena on the tier seems to get back towards this lane. That's alright. I kind of want to fight this. I'm with a Rama. Athena uses her dash. I gotta be kind of careful though. Tier can just one me into the tower followed by an Athena taunt. But we can get a ton of burst damage here on this tier for free. No big deal. Checking to see if Tier has a blink. He does not. I do not have to be worried that he's going to blink past me, one me into the tower, and knock me up. Athena taunt, Janus portal, CC'd in the tower. Tower sitting here the whole time. I'm dead. Don't have to worry about that. That's why you have to check actives all the time, because if he would have had blink, I could have been in a lot of trouble right there. They're trying to fight me right here, but I'm honestly not that scared. I am free to turn around and put the pop on that Arachne. Meanwhile, I am beating the floor, so this Athena can't get away. And that was an easy couple of kills for us because they made the mistake of trying to target the Cabraken. I really want to kill this Janus. I run around all this stuff. He misses his portal. I still can't do anything though because Janus. Meanwhile, my team's doing the Gold Fury. My main purpose there was to keep them off of the Gold Fury, make sure nobody rotated over there. So my team was free to just pick up that Gold Fury with no problems whatsoever. I can finish up my Mystical Mail at this point, which is going to be huge in terms of physical defense for tanking towers as well as minions, as well as getting away from that Arachne Apollo nonsense. I've got enough money now to get tier 2 Blink. The Blink is going to help me put some pressure on this Janus. I can't reach the Janus with my normal skills, but I'll be able to Blink on top of him, stun him, make him use his beads, stuff like that. That'll be helpful also for initiations during team fights later in the game. Of course, making sure that I cuss whenever I beat the ground with my 3, it's very important. Janus probably doesn't know I have Blink right now. He probably hasn't checked his active board. And of course, I make the Janus use his beads, which is a total win. 1, beads are not up nearly as fast as my Blink is up, even though he has tier 3 beads. 2, now if we get chains on him, something or another, he won't be able to escape it. Cabraken damage, ridiculously fun. Just play Cabraken. Do it. You're going to get yelled at. People are going to be like, I'm mad at you. I don't care. Just do it. So much fun. Looking to make a play on Arachne. I trap her with my ultimate, hit her with a 1, finish her off with a 2. Boom, boom, boom. Even though she had speed buff, I could still catch up to her because of the 35% increased movement speed on my 1. And then I can just go ahead and finish her off. Thinking that Janus might have portaled through right there. I can't find him. I'm wondering where he is. As it turns out, he is all the way down the lane. It was his ultimate, not a regular portal. I see nothing under the tower, but I ain't scared. I'm going to go ahead and tank this. Unfortunately, there's a weird bug-type dealio with your 1 and getting taunted and her having her passive up. And I'm not sure exactly what happens, but I hit her like 8 times and her passive triggers each time. It's pretty weird. Trying to get some pressure here on this Janus. I should have known better. It's a Janus. You can't kill Janus. That's ridiculous. And all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't find the Janus after his portal again. These spider webs are making me salty. I gotta walk around them in a weird position. Eventually, I am going to take out that web, I swear. Really wish my Blink was up, but it's not, but that's alright. We make the decision to force down this mid tower. We have an 8,000 gold lead. We can start to force fights, no problem. We should be able to win these. Arachne putting some babies on me. Ares missing his chains. If he didn't, we might have been able to pick up a kill there on the Arachne. I see that the red buff is up, so I'm not level 20 yet. I need the XP. It'll help my damage quite a bit, and we can't really push that tier 2 tower that much anyway, so that'll be an easy pickup for me. They start to force the fight middle after they see that I left. This will be a good re-engagement fight for us. The Janus ulti doesn't seem to hit anybody. I need to help our Rama in the backline with this Athena. She's ridiculously fast, but I can hopefully pick up this kill. I'm bopping the floor trying to kill her. Loki finishes her off. And now we have officially gone about 2 for 1. This is not bad. The tier's coming in looking for pickoffs. We got to be kind of careful here. They're putting a lot of pressure over here by me. That's all right. I can just go ahead and walk away with no issues there. 6, 1, and 6, doing a lot of damage, really tanky. I don't have to back. I can just do these back harpies for fun. No pressure on me. They're not going to come dive me back here. Might as well get some free XP while I need it. Questioning here what item to get, I decided it's Soul Reaver time. I can also finish up my Blink, will help me initiate more often, more frequently, getting those beads down on Janice and whatnot. Working towards that Soul Reaver. Once I get Soul Reaver, people are going to be feeling the hurt when I use my 1 on them for initiation. It is going to be nasty. Going to go ahead and refresh my red buff, so kind of the Aries to do that for me. At this point, we're looking to grab more objectives. FG coming up soon. Gold Fury respawning soon. We want to try to look for fights, pick-offs. We're pretty big. You still have to be careful with how big you are. Putting some more pressure on this Janice. He goes ahead and uses his ult to get away. I try to wait to use my 1 until the second after his ultimate goes off, but I can't quite do it. A lot of pressure coming here middle, but I want to fight this. Good ultimate coming out from Aries, grabbing the tier. I'm trying to wait for the tier to ultimate so I can grab him after he ults. But he gets chained so he can't get away, so I can just whop up and pop him with my 1. He can't do anything about that. He is chained. He can't do squat. We get an easy kill. Letting my team know that Janice ult is down. It seems Apollo is ulting towards the mid lane. And he is, but he's going to ulti himself to safety. It seems the Rama had won that fight over there in the ADC lane. The Athena seems to kind of be out of position. I want to ulti her here, but she was in a weird spot. I couldn't quite get a position on her that I wanted. Trying to hit her with my 1, but she is a very squiggly target in terms of the fact that she can body block with her passive my stun on my 1, which makes it a very interesting situation. I still want to fight this though because I'm big, and yeah, I'm going to go for this Janice. God, I want to kill this Janice. I'll do anything to kill this Janice. His ultimate is back up because why not? Using my ultimate to block off the Apollo so he can't get to me. My Loki does a very good job split pushing and grabs that right lane Phoenix while we are distracting. I can start to turn this around now. My Rama is coming over. My Nemesis is middle. They're going in for the Nemesis. I want to help her as much as I can, so I'm going to bop the floor on this tier. He has to use his ultimate to get away. There's an Aries waiting for him. Will we get the kill on him? Aries really wants it. I get hit by Janice. I hate Janice. But I can clean up that kill on tier, no problem. He had to get away from the Aries, and he walked right into me in the process. At this point, yes, there is a team fight going on, but it's going very poorly. I do not want to be over there at all. I can go ahead and grab this tier 2 tower relatively safely, but I do not want to be anywhere near that nonsense going on in that fight. That is not a good fight. I'm trying to back as quick as I can. I know I'm going to need tier 3 hog because they are going to go for the fire giant. Unfortunately, the Apollo does catch me on my way trying to back. I get my blink off so he won't get the kill on me, but they will have a relatively easy fire giant for themselves. Team going a little bit ham off in the jungle, trying to get some kills. I grabbed the tier 3 hog. I also tried to grab a Soul Reaver, have to sell an item. I can grab it. I'm not going to make it in time to that fire giant anyway, but I wanted to try. 8-1-7 at this point. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. This game is getting towards more of the end game when we can try to put this game away. Even though they got the fire giant, we are 10,000 gold ahead still. I have 2 levels over their middle. Most of our players are at least a level ahead of their opposing player, not to mention an average 2,000 gold lead on each of us over the opposing members of the opposite team. This game is what we like to call over, even though they got FG, and this is how you play Cabraken middle. Let's go ahead and get into our win screen. What a fun game that was. Cabraken being one of the funnest characters, honestly, I can play right now in the game. Looking at our final tables here, we did the most damage in the game on Cabraken. This is a ranked game. We did 30,000 damage. One of the best parts about Guardians in the mid solo lanes is that not only that, but we also took 30,000 damage and we mitigated 35,000 damage. Across the board, you just do whatever you want. You tank damage, you deal out damage, you've got a ton of crowd control, you can be all up in people's faces, you can do whatever you want. You're a support, you're damage, you're a carry, all in one. You can pretty much do anything that you want to. Finishing up 9, 4, and 9. Probably a couple of those kills or deaths could have been avoided. But what are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to go a little bit ham when you're playing Cabraken. You can put a ton of pressure onto people, especially in the mid to late game as Cabraken, especially as you finish up Soul Reaver, maybe get a Polynomicon in your 1 is smashing people in the face for all of their health, as we saw towards the end of the game with that poor Arachne. Didn't even have Polynomicon at that point. Looking at a final build here, we have our pen boots, we have some more aura pen for the Void Stone, of course getting the bleed out with our mystical mail, a Soul Reaver for a ton of extra damage right on the top, and then more pen with Spear of the Magus, because why not? Let's get that pen out and we'll get that base damage out, and we're going to do a ton of work with that. Blink to get in towards that Janus, who was very slippery throughout the game. Helped me get a lot more pressure on him, and Hog for the early lane clear as well as the end game objective securing abilities. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love playing Cabraken and I love playing Guardians and carry roles. Hopefully I'll be able to get out one more video this week. And hope you guys enjoy it. This is just a fun week of videos. If you really enjoy watching these, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, and that helps me a ton. And I also stream Monday through Friday in the morning on Twitch, and you can follow me on Twitter to know exactly when I'm streaming and when my YouTube videos come out. Have a twitching day, y'all.